we have gone through, first of all, the two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. We call as multi-factor authentication. One is what you have, and what is the other one is what you get. So we enabled our device, which is a mobile device. There are various ways of enabling, but the method which we have enabled is software-based. That is a Google Authenticator. We have gone through. You have many other apps also where you can authenticate accordingly. Okay, so we did that authentication mechanism, and we did that how to secure your account. Of course, your root account is always the best practices is to keep secure, no doubt. If by chance, if the root password is known to someone else, then there is a huge damage, I tell you. So it's the best practice is always to keep root account. It's not only for the root account, you can always do for the user accounts also. Okay, that users will take care. But as an administrator, it is always a good practice for us to what we call as keep our root account multi-factor authentication. Okay, so even if anyone is what we call as leaving the organization, and also we learned about how to create users, and specifically for the users how to attach policies, very, very important. So Amazon also recommends that you need to understand the user's requirement and give the least privileges as possible. Please remember the word which is called as the least privilege. You need to understand the user. Based on the user's requirement, we need to give only the least privilege. The minimum amount, what amount is to be given, that amount of privileges only needs to be given. So in that way, your user accounts and policies are much restricted to the user's requirement. Okay, how much is required, that much amount only we are going to provide, and in that way it will be a safe way of working in the organization. So we learned all those things yesterday in our last class. We learned about various policies also. Policies are mostly written in JSON. You can also, if you are good in JSON, you can also develop your own JSON documents. Okay, JSON policies. It's all samples are there. You can go through. If you are interested, you can go through all different type of. The more the understanding about the policies, the more you can get into the security. Okay, it is understood that everyone should understand about the policies a lot. For everything, for every service you have, for S3 you have a policy, for auto scaling you have a policy, for everything like the IAM also we have a policies. Okay, in future also we still have getting the policies. Policies are nothing but permissions. Later on, after understanding about the policies, we assigned policies, we verified user 1, user 2, user 3. We also learned about Amazon's way of accessing the cloud resources. We understood about that. The first one is the console method, the second one is CLI, third one API, and fourth one is SDKs. So we will learn about the other things also very soon, but we know about console access. Right, we also learned about, after that, we also learned about how the roles are mapped. Roles, so what is a role? So we created a, what we call as a Linux server, and from the Linux server, yes, we have attached, created a role. And what is that role? From a service to a service, yes, from EC2 to S3 bucket, how you can create a role. We have created a role successfully, and we attached this role to the EC2. And later on, we verified from the EC2 user how you can access S3 buckets also, that we verified that. So these are some of the important things which we have done. We learned all these things, especially for what we call as accessing the users, MFA, and of course later on we also understood about this policies and the what we call as the last parties, the roles. Yeah, if anyone is having any quick question, please do ask me now. Otherwise, we'll move ahead with the next most important topic today, which we are going to go through, that is CLI. Yes, please. If you have no question, if you have questions, just let me know. I will try to answer all the questions. Otherwise, we will move ahead with today's topic. Still, you can mention if there are no questions, everything understood. But once you say understood, means that you have practiced well. Yes, please.
Nothing from my end, sir.
Shashank, nothing. Okay, doing well.
No questions. I'm good.
No questions from Vamshi, Vinay.
Yeah, no question.
From Sai, yes, no questions. Satvika.
No questions.
No questions. Rubina, you can say something. If you have yes, okay, that you are exceptional, but still you can say something. I think you are having a mic problem. We are not able to hear you, Rubina. Okay, that's okay. If there are anything, you can just chat me later or something like that. So yeah, I'll share my desktop. Today we are going with a very, very important topic that is on CLI. Okay, I just share the system. Yeah, I hope you all can see my shared system. And also I'm starting my sandbox environment as I mentioned earlier itself. Please everyone start your sandbox or your free tier account, whatever is feasible. So today's topic is on CLI. I'll just, I'm showing you on the sandbox so that you can start doing from the sandbox environment. Okay. So meanwhile, let it start. It's still starting stage. So what I mean to say today is, what is today? 22, right? 20, 19, 20, 22, I think. Yeah, 22. CLI. CLI stands for command line interface. Command line interface. So this is a very, very, very important topic for developers, especially. I tell you, for developers, this is a must because they work mostly all the three domains. It is important because they work in all various environments. We need to understand. So CLI is nothing but command line interface. That is till now you are accessing all your AWS resources. This is your AWS resources. So once this is ready, you can see the console. So maybe once you have started your console, you can create what we call as some EC2 or some bucket or something like that. And the need of access, see everyone we are not able to, we cannot create an account to get into the resources and all these things. Like maybe I'll give a simple question or a simple example. Someone is having, someone wants to store, one user wants to store his data in S3 bucket. So how will he store? Simple, very, this question is very simple. How will you store? He need to be given an access to the AWS console. Then only he can get into that. But providing access to the console, understanding about, he's a user, he's not an admin, right? So it is a tough task for him to learn all the things. He's an ordinary user, I mean to say. He's a very ordinary user. He wants to store some data. So the real-time example is like that only. So what he can do is that you as an admin can configure his CLI and then he can start just working across. He need not worry about logging in, going into S3 bucket. Simple commands are there, which I am going to teach. Okay, so with those commands, he can access EC2 or he can access S3 or he can access RDS or he can access anything. But as a professional, if you want to become professional, you can even learn CLI. Even the toughest commands also are there. But for a solutions architect, we need not go through in depth about the CLI part. But you can still learn accordingly. I'll teach you how you can create the command line interface frame. I mean the syntax. I'll teach you how you can. It is easy only, but still you need to go through a particular procedure. But the first most important for solutions architect is that how to configure your system, whether it is a Mac system or a Linux system or maybe your Windows system, how you can interlink your system to the Amazon cloud infrastructure. That part is must for us and you will get some questions within that. Okay, is this clear the objective of our today's class? Everyone, can one of you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so let us start that. So now at least my lab is not yet completely started. So once this is started, I'll show you this Amazon what we call as, maybe I can click now. Let me see whether it has started already or not in the sandbox environment. This is called as Amazon console. You can see here, this is your console home. It has already started. You can see once if I go into the EC2 dashboard, you can also create a sample Linux system. Sample, whether you are in a free tier or even in Windows or even in the sandbox, it's okay. It's okay. So what I do here is that you see this instance is running is 0. I'm in the sandbox environment. launch an instance. Just create a sample instance for today's work practice. So I just do this Amazon Linux sample, one instance. I can create a T2 micro and say configure your instance details, add storage, just leave it, add tags. Maybe I can say add a tag and say name and value as maybe Linux server, anything. Configure your security group, base 22 is okay for me, review and launch. And say launch. You have this work key, just I acknowledge and launch your instance. Your instance is almost ready. See this one, this is ready now, this is ready. So your instance is getting through, view your instances, you see there is one instance. Similarly, I have some infrastructure, this is one, and the other one I also create a bucket. I'm creating some infrastructure. So say storage, go to S3 and create a bucket. Create a bucket, add a file, something like that. We will learn all these things today. How to access all these things. Create a bucket. Maybe here in my case, I'll create like this, Anand KTH, ACL's recommended, no, leave all the things defaults, create a bucket. Yeah, it is created. I can add some files also, upload some files, any file. It's not mandated that index.html only needs to be added. Something, I add some, okay, all these files, all these 4 or 5 files which are coming across, just say open. It is totally right. The small files only add, nothing major. Okay, my files are ready. Bucket is also there. Leave it. All of you are ready with a basic server and a basic bucket. So now my intention is that without going through the console, I need to access all these things. So let us learn about the CLI. If you are ready, let me know.
Done, sir.
Yes, Shashank, ready? So this will be a very, very interesting exercise for all of you. And one of the easiest one. And I tell you, the rest of the topics more or less are very easy if you follow the class. Not like VPC and all those things. It will not be that much tough. VPC IAM is a bit challenging one, but rest of all the topics from now are more or less easy only. Yeah, others? I heard from Shashank.
Done, sir.
Okay, Satvika done.
Done, sir.
Vamshi,
Done, sir.
Vinay. Okay. I hope others also please do it at the earliest. So now let us learn about the CLI. So in the CLI, see, I'll also show you, I have a documentation for all of you, which is there in your sessions folder, sessions 10. So what you can do, you can either go to this CLI.txt or AWS commands star.pdf file is there. I'll just rename this one CLI. Okay. Just say this one. You can download this one. You can download this file. Very simple one. Just download and open this one. Most of the things are very simple, spoon-fed one. So if you are using office laptop, please don't do from now onwards. Okay. If you are using on your personal laptop, because there is some installations which we need to do now. So now the first thing is that if you open this particular one, first thing is that you need to download a software called as, you can either say this particular way also. In Google, you can say AWS CLI download. AWS CLI dot download. Okay, you can see this particular one. The second one, Amazon command line interface. Just click that. Amazon command line interface. This is the one .cli/. So whichever is the OS which you are using, just download. If you are using Windows, select this one. Mac, this one. Linux, this one. So here I am downloading this 64-bit Windows. If you are using again Office laptop, please don't do, because you are not supposed to configure or install any softwares in that. If your Office allows, then you can do. Or if your Office laptop is already configured for CLI, and that also, please don't do that. Then never do that, because they might already give the lock features. Okay, so don't do that. So just download this one. This is about 29.4 MB. Very simple, 29.4 MB. Click this particular one. The file, MSI file. This is for Windows I have downloaded. So if it is asking for VC++, please install that one. If it is asking, just let me know if it is asking. So you see this on Amazon. This is Amazon software only. Welcome to AWS CLI V2 setup wizard. So it is still computing the space. Once this is done, your next will be highlighted. Migrating feature state from selected related applications. Yeah, it has come next. Go for all defaults only, nothing else. I accept the license and say next, next, install. So this will take, this is the first step for any system. If you want to access through the command line interface, this software needs to be installed. Without this, you may not be able to access your what we call as command line interface. If it asks for VC++, then you install, otherwise not required. AWSamazon.com/CLI is the link. You can see that in background, which is running. Download that and then install. Just let me know if you are facing any difficulty. So in background, we already created one server and one bucket. So we need to access through the CLI. That is the access, not only access, we need to work across.
Done, sir.
Done? Oh, very super. Others also. So if you are done, okay, I'll let you know. So this installation part should be successful. And it will automatically close also once installation is done. Mine is today somewhat slow actually, because maybe because of the updates. I think maybe there may be several other what we call as reboots required.
Update. Yeah.
So yes, the completed. In my case, it is done. You just let me know who all is done. Once you are done, what you can do, just go to command prompt, CMD. This is your command prompt. You see this one? CMD, command prompt. And just verify and let me know. Just say AWS, okay? AWS -help. No, -h is enough. -h. Or AWS, you can say /?. Yeah, you should get something like that. It should not give bad command or file name. If you are getting, fantastic. Or the best example is AWS -version. Just give the command and let me know. If you are getting like this, fantastic. The perfect way of knowing is if you say AWS -version, it should display. If it is displaying, you are done. The first task and the most important task is done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Shashank verified. Again, please do this exercise, very, very important. So after downloading, install that, whatever are the softwares which are there, it will install accordingly, and then once it is there, the window will close. So then you can open this command prompt and say, even in Linux also or Mac also, same thing, procedure is same. You should get, once you say AWS hyphen version, it should return. It should return without any error. Like the prompt, the 2.7, 2.7 is the version. Python also, it will optionally, it will, because it works on Python only. 3.9, the components will be installed. Yeah, else anyone else done?
In case of AWS forward slash or backward slash question mark, it gives argument command invalid choice, valid choice are.
Nah, that's okay, then leave it. Just give version, that should be the perfect one.
Yeah, I think that is working, and hyphen H is also working.
Hyphen slash question mark will work in Linux actually.
Oh, okay.
So hyphen help also will work actually in your command prompt, but it works perfectly in Linux.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Sorry, mistakenly my video is get on.
Mhm. Yeah, others, any help needed, or should I continue? Okay, so no response from anyone, so I'll just continue. So if you get this AWS hyphen version, you are basically configured your system. And there is a second step. If you complete that, your system is fully configured. This is only the software which you have installed, where you have a plugin into your system so that you can connect to the cloud platform. Now, the security part. The security part. So how do I do that security? Because I need to configure the system. So go to your what we call as this. If you are using a sandbox environment, then under details, you have something which is called as, I'll show you, which is called as your secret key and access key. If you are using sandbox, I just copy this one, access key and secret access key. I just copy this one. But if you are using a free tier environment, free tier or your regular just copy here. I'm just copying the secret key and access key. We need that now. We need that now. So again, I show you what you need to do. Go to your sandbox, under details. If you say show, you should be able to see those things. Just copy those two here, secret key and this one, and also download your ppk key. That is also important for me. Just download, it will be there here, ppk key. That is for accessing your Linux server, otherwise there is no. This is for the sandbox environment. But if you are going through what we call as a regular environment, you go to your IAM. You go to your IAM. You see this one, IAM. Where is that? In your security, there is a concept. There is IAM. Yesterday, which we have gone through, security and you see this one, manage IAM. Yeah, this particular one. If you are using a free tier or regular environment, not a sandbox environment. Again, I repeat. So here what you need to do, what you need to do, otherwise this is one way, or you can just click your say my security credentials. Where is that? Billing dashboard, organization account. Okay, settings. It's okay. It's okay. Where is that? There is something change in this one. It's not showing like this. Unified settings. He has disabled all those things.
Is it visible?
I think I need to stop sharing. Yeah, I can.
So I think I'm in that.
Yeah. Now, yeah, perfect. I think everyone can see this one, right? So this, I can see.
Yes.
I can see. See here in this particular one, create a new access key. Yeah, you can create that. Yeah.
If I click.
Yeah. You can say show access key also you can do. Okay. So you can see both access key ID and secret access key.
Correct.
Download key file also you do that. Yeah. So one Excel file will be downloaded and also copy both things in your notepad completely. I think the same thing which you have earlier copied also, same thing.
Yes.
I think the earlier one you can delete. Okay. From, that is through the sandbox you are doing. This is the one, right? That's okay. Absolutely. Is this clear, everyone? From your normal account, you have to do in this way. Both ways are okay. Now you can release.
Sure, sir.
Okay. So I'll just share my desktop. All right. So I just sign out this particular one. Now this is okay. Yeah. So what do you do now? Since now this is mandate for me now. Secret access key and access key. So now here in your C prompt, you need to do one important step. Just say whether you are using Linux or whether you are using Windows, whatever it is, AWS space configure. Exactly same to same. AWS space this is only for the first time. Once it is configured, no need to do all these things. We downloaded one time. It is installed in the system. We are now doing AWS configure. Just press enter. It is asking for AWS access key ID. So this is your access key ID. Don't try to write, just copy paste. Copy and just say right click on your screen. So it is asking now next question, secret access key. Just copy exactly same to same. Copy, select and say right click. Press enter. So it is asking default region name. It is US East. In my case, it is US East -1. But in your case, just verify which is your region. So here, how do you know which region you are? Just say this one. If you are in North Virginia, US East -1. Okay. Otherwise, you go to EC2 where you have created your EC2. Where you have created your EC2. So here it is in North Virginia only I have created. Earlier in the sandbox environment. Okay, you can see here North Virginia is nothing but US-East-1. Type exactly the same. US East-1. Press enter. The last question, default output format. You can say JSON or TXT, or you can leave it blank also, JSON, JSON. Just press enter. Finished. Finished. The major configuration part is done. So first we have downloaded the CLI part. We understood what is CLI. And then we downloaded the CLI, that is the install, this thing. And then we installed, and later on we are trying to configure. This is the second part. Now, if you are done, let me know. Once this is done, major challenge is done. So in my case, it is sandbox environment. I shown you also how you can extract your key files, secret access key and access key file, these two. If you are using a free tier also, I have shown you the other tiers which are there, regular one. So this is how it looks like, AWS configure. See, all these things are also there in your what we call as documentation folder, which I have given you. So screen to screen shots are given exactly same to same, not this one. The documentation, right? This one. You see this AWS CLI commands. Yeah, exactly same to same. I mentioned this particular one. So you can see this, once you have provided AWS configure, it will ask all the questions once this is done. Otherwise also screens are there, lab output is there, right? You can see here, AWS CLI, you have configure here, AWS.exe will be there. No need to see all those things. AWS configure, it will ask key, all this code. Once this is done, yes, perfect.
So can you just show your command prompt one more time?
Yeah, I'll show you.
US East 1.
US-East-1 if you are using North Virginia. So this part, if it is done, now you are attached to your cloud infrastructure Amazon. No need to again give login, username, password, nothing like that. You can straight away access your all your infrastructure, whatever it is. If it is for the user you have to log in and then download your key files. So here we are using for the root account user. So those things we are using now. Okay, done now.
Done, sir.
Okay,
One thing
perfect.
I just wanted to, in case like for us we are using free tier, but if we want to use the sandbox as well, so do we need to change this secret key or access key?
So sandbox environment, I'm doing on the sandbox only.
That's okay. If we say example, if you want to do in your free
Later on,
tier
if I
account
want to change, I can do AWS configure. Installation is not required.
configuration, we just need to execute this command
Change the
again,
key.
AWS configure, and change the key, right?
Change the key. That's all.
Okay.
Your ID
Okay.
access will be changed.
Okay. Fine. Got it.
Right? You can need not install anything. Installation is
Yeah.
common for all. Only configuration is needed. Now let me see AWS. Just give the command AWS S3 ls. I'll tell you. AWS, the commands, whatever we are going to do, the first one is always AWS. Always AWS. We start CLI only with AWS. So S3 is the service name, LS is list the buckets. List the buckets. Say enter. Say enter. You should see the bucket which you have created. If you are seeing your bucket, you have successfully configured your CLI properly. AWS space S3 space LS. This is the bucket which you have created when 22nd August on 1859. I can see that the same bucket.
Yes, sir.
Got it, everyone? I don't know how many of you are doing. If you are having any issues or any problems, please let me know. You're able to see? Now let me create a bucket. Let us learn about how to create a bucket from CLI. Okay, so first of all, how to create a command line. Let us learn. As I mentioned, always AWS is the first one, space. Next is service. Which service you want to? You don't know what service, how to go ahead, just say /? Always /? Slash. It will tell you what next to do. It is saying that you can use any of all these things which are there. Queues numbers are there, out of which we are using S3. You can see this one, S3. Where is that S3? S3 post. It will be there somewhere, S3. If you want EC2, You can make use of EC2 also. You can see EC2 also somewhere. It should be there. EC2 is there. S3 will be there. All the services, whatever the new services will be added. Okay. My task is to learn first S3. Okay. So what I do, AWS S3. I learned up to this part. Now what to do? How to get the command? What commands are there in S3? How to learn all those things? Again slash question mark. Remember only slash question mark. You'll get all the commands intact. Just press enter. So it is mentioned AWS S3 slash question mark. You can use ls, you can use cp, cp is copy, you can use rm, mb for make bucket. Just understand, make bucket. Okay, you can see mv, move, rb, remove bucket. The rest all the things we may not. Sync is also there. Synchronize between off and on. Means that if you have set of files you want to synchronize, you can use sync. Is this clear? So now let us learn about how to create a bucket. mb, make bucket. So how to create S3 colon / I'm creating one more bucket. Earlier I have Anand KETH. I'm creating Anand KETH1. Let me see. I hope everyone is following. I am creating a bucket, new bucket. Let us also verify there. So make bucket has created one bucket called as Anand KETH1 from the command line interface. From the command line interface, I go to S3, see whether bucket is created or not. Excellent, it has created. It has created 1928. The time. See this one? So just to explore the bucket, is there anything inside in this bucket? Nothing. Nothing. Is everyone ready now?
My case it got failed. It says is what it says. Make bucket failed. S3 colon
/ double slash. You see the slash type, not the other one.
Yes. Double slash.
It is
yes,
left to your shift. Yeah.
Yes. And error occur invalid bucket name.
So
We cannot
probably the
give
bucket
any.
is existing.
Okay, bucket is already existing. Is that?
If it is existing, it will not create. You know that, right?
Yeah. But I didn't create any one of them.
Give something else. If it is failed, means that it has some logic behind.
Okay.
So we learned about ls. We learned about mb, make bucket. We will now say S3 once again ls. S3 we will say once again ls. Now there are two buckets. I can see two buckets. Did you see everyone? Buckets. Now I know that there are some files in my first bucket. Very important exercise I'm telling you. I want to list the files in the bucket. I know that there are some files which I already copied earlier. You see this one? I'm just verifying here. When I see this bucket in Anand KETH, I have some files. How to get these files or how to view these files first? How to do that? So AWS ls, same command, just give the bucket name. How do I know the bucket name? It is already listed at the top. S3. Just give the bucket name. ls and the bucket name. It will display the contents of the bucket. It is showing you all the contents of the bucket. Is this clear? I don't know how many of you are doing. Please acknowledge, at least I can understand whether to proceed or to wait.
I don't know, sir. It is every time it is failing for me. I
Sorry?
really don't know. Every time it is failing for me. It says
Is it showing AWS S3 LS?
yeah, nothing is showing as of now. So
Then
I
you
think
might not have given the correct key. If you are not giving the correct key, it will not allow you.
no. Actually, when I did AWS S3 LS, there was no bucket. So do we need to create any bucket first, and then on
If you
we
have
can get
created in your account, it will be there. If there is nothing, it will not show you anything. You can create
yeah,
here.
correct. Then we should be make bucket command. We can
One
create.
by one, we are learning one by one. LS will display the buckets. MB will create the buckets.
But when I try to create a bucket from command line, this CLI, it didn't allow to me. It says an error occurred. Bucket is already exist. Okay, bucket is already
Bucket,
exist.
if it is existing, how can you create? I said create a bucket which is unique.
Okay.
Do something else. Your name, surname, whatever it is. There are thousands of buckets which are.
Mhm. Very good.
Just verify in your system whether you have a bucket or not. You create here and verify LS. I am having a doubt whether you have configured your account properly or not.
No. I didn't create any bucket in my free tire account as of now.
Create one and verify whether it is accessing or not.
Okay. Okay. Let me do that. Create bucket.
I said initially create a bucket so that you can access from there and you'll easily understandable.
It should be default. Create bucket. Already exists. Okay. Bucket one is already exist. Bucket.
Just say LS, it should display. If it is not displayed, then you have a problem with the account configuration. You have not configured account properly. You need to reconfigure AWS configure once again, this particular one. If it is not showing. If it is showing, perfect. You are done well.
Let me try.
You have to give only command AWS S3 LS. That's all. It should display. Yes, Chandan, you want to say something? Yes, you can.
Sir, just for my understanding, actually I joined late, so I'm just trying to catch up. So here we have built a Linux system, right? And
Right.
I could access this security keys
CLI.
what you have shown. So this
Okay.
CLI, are we connecting from local terminal or the AWS
Local.
console local
No,
terminal?
not. So you are connecting to your AWS console, basically, your
Okay,
account
okay,
from your local.
from my local system. Okay, okay,
Absolutely.
fine, thank you.
This is CLI.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the configuration part is nothing but AWS configure, which is already documented in the what we call as this particular one in your sessions 10. You can see this, and the lab output is also there in the second part. You can see that part also, lab output, how to do that. So this is one command which you can give. Where is that? AWS/configure. Okay, you should get all these 4 questions. Once this is done, you can start working. Yeah, Shashank.
Yeah. Now, sir, I can see my from console my created bucket. Should I
You can see from
do
CLI or from console.
from CLI?
Okay, that's fine. Then you can
Now,
create MB,
now I need to execute the MB command.
MB command,
Yeah, S3 MB S3
colon slash slash,
slash
and the bucket name.
CLI.
Unique bucket. Bucket should be unique.
Yeah, sure. Now this time it got created. Yeah.
Okay, you can verify from the what we call as console also, whether it has created or not. You can just refresh, you should see the bucket coming here,
Sure, sir. Definitely.
right? And you can copy some files in the bucket
Sure, sir.
and verify from there, here itself.
Sure, sir.
So these things are necessary because as a user, most of the time he only access the buckets and of course what we call as files. So now if I want to copy a file from bucket or from my location to the bucket, how to do that? Very simple. You can say dir one of my file I want to copy, whichever is the see little bit of MS-DOS is required for your understanding. I go to desktop. Which file I want to? I want to copy one of the file called as task2.yaml. Please be in the source directory. So I can say AWS S3 CP. What is my source file? task2.yaml. File name should be exactly same. task2.yaml. If there is a spelling mistake, it won't. Where do I want to copy? S3 colon / Anand KETH1 or Anand KETH. I'll copy this one in the bucket. Same thing with the same file name. I'll see that. So from my local system, it is uploading to the bucket. So this task2.yaml file has uploaded. So some of you, if you are not able to do, see here only the previous one. I just refresh. You can see the fifth file also coming. Yeah, you see this one? task2.yaml also got uploaded. You can see here. I'll show you one more time. Maybe I'll copy what is this index.html, this one, index.html. AWS S3, CP is for copy, index.html, that is your source. Where do I want to copy? S3, in whichever bucket I want, I can copy. Just let know. Oh, sorry, I given wrong. It has copied. It has copied. You can see this one when you see this message. You can also verify whether you have copied properly or not. You can say ls and the bucket name. So once you get habituated, you will enjoy this CLI very easily. Sorry. ls s3 colon / Anand KETH. You can verify whether your file called as index.html is copied or not. In my case, it has copied. Let me verify here also by refreshing. Yeah, it has copied index.html. This is only verification we don't require here at least. So it is getting copied everything. Yeah, understood everyone? So we learned about how to create a bucket. Yes, Chandan. I understood everything?
Sorry, sir, my mic was not working. So, sorry, sir, I joined the class late. So,
Okay,
can
okay.
you brief me, sir, what's
No,
happening?
it has been, see, I'll share the recordings also. Briefing means every step is different. One is we have downloaded the file. Second one is we have configured. And third thing is that we are now working on CLI platform. Okay,
Sure,
the
sir.
documentation. Sorry?
Yes, sir.
The documentation is also there. The recording is also there. In YouTube also, the recording is also there. You can just go through because several steps are there. It is only one way we can go. So downloading is first part, configuring is second part. Third one is we are working on S3. I mean CLI commands, basic commands. Okay, you can.
Got it, sir.
Yeah, you can just go through the recordings. If you are facing any difficulty, yeah, I'll definitely help you out. Right?
Sure, sir. I will
Okay.
go.
Right. Because repeating all the steps won't work here also. It is already configured in my system installation.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we learned about some of the commands like see AWS S3 /?. So this is how we generate the syntax. ls we saw, cp we saw, okay, ls and cp we saw, mb also we saw, make bucket. We will learn now some of the other things. Move is something from the source, from one bucket to another bucket, you can do that. We will learn that. We'll take one of the file called as maybe putty.exe from Anand KTH. We will move it to KTH1. How to do that? AWS S3 MV S3 colon / KETH slash putty.exe to S3 / 1. Okay, this is the bucket name, Anand KTH1. If you don't specify anything, it will just copy the same name. Yeah, it has moved. It has moved. So no more in Anand KTH, it will be there in the destination folder, that is KTH1. We can verify that. So earlier, if I say refresh, this is there, right? I'll say refresh, putty.exe will not be there now. It's not there. So I'll just change the bucket and see. Yeah, it is there here. This is how we call as move. Suppose if I want to delete one of the file, I know one of the file. I'll try to learn about how to delete it. Task2.yaml is no more required. No more required. I want to delete this file. How to delete that? How to delete? That is, we have a command called as website mv rb is remove bucket is rm. You can see this rm. AWS S3 rm S3 colon / Anand KETH. What is the file name with heart? Task2.yaml. Task2.yaml. Okay, you have to give the full syntax. Let me check. It has deleted. You can verify by saying ls. ls S3 colon / Anand KETH. No more. Task2.yaml. I deleted. Once deleted, it won't. You can see. Right? Yeah, any questions? Any questions till now? So we are trying to do all the tasks using CLI. Yeah, Shashank.
So just wanted to know that when I was not created any bucket into my free tire account, when I was trying to create directly through the command line interface, that time every time it give me, sometimes it give me invalid, sometimes it say already exists. So is that necessary that we need to create from console
No.
script?
If it is
Not
there,
like
then
that,
it will
right?
show. Nothing.
Nothing
If it
like
is
that. We
there,
can
then it will
directly,
show.
yeah, we can directly create new bucket, fresh bucket from command line interface. Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, got
See,
it.
why we are showing a background in CLI and foreground in CLI and background in console, just for your verification. It will do
Correct.
automatically.
Yes.
Where will it go? Right? So we are learning one by one command especially. We learned about ls, we learned about CP, we learned about RM, we spoke about MB, we spoke about MV. We can also do RB also. RB, remove bucket. Okay. Let me try to remove this bucket called as Anand KTH1. Let me try. AWS RB remove bucket S3 colon Anand KETH1. Whether it will be removed or not, any quick answer.
Just
If I do this one.
it will ask for
No
confirmation.
answer.
It will ask for confirmation.
Yeah, whether, see my question, whether it will allow you to remove or not.
I think it should.
I guess no.
Why? If it is no, why? If it is yes, why?
Because contents are present in it, the bucket.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Vamshi's
that
answer
is,
is
yeah.
correct.
But
There
if
is
the
something
bucket
in
is
the bucket.
Mhm.
If there is something in the bucket, it will not allow you to remove.
Yeah, that's
Let me
okay.
see. Did I give wrong one? Okay, I missed out. Need to give S3, right? S3 RB. Let me say. Remove bucket failed. An error occurred. The bucket you tried to delete is not empty. So first you need to delete the contents or empty that one. So how do you do that? See that file name. What is the file name? S3 ls. I'll show you. Putty.exe. I delete that s3 rm s3 colon slash putty.exe. File is deleted. Delete. Now I run the same command. Okay, rb. Will it now delete or not?
Yeah, it is. It will be deleted because it's empty now.
It's now empty. I'll try. Happily it has removed. You can say ls now. Ls and see whether bucket is there or not. Only one bucket is there. In Anand KETH also there are good number of files. Good number of files. How do I do? How do I list? I see a big number of files. See now, I'll tell you one secret. I told you the straight way of how you can delete the buckets. But if there are more files and more subdirectories, etc., 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 deleting is a big pain for all of you. You agree or not?
We can give, I think, a star.
No,
as
no,
per
no,
the
no.
download.
Wildcards won't work in cloud.
Oh, okay.
It won't work.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
In that case,
It is a very tough one. And without deleting all these files, you cannot delete the bucket also. Sometimes there can be 50 files, 100 files, 1000 files also. How will you delete one by one, all those things? It's a tough job. Sometimes it will be a long files, short files, multiple directories or objects, etc. Because these are all objects. Even though it's looking like a file, but these are all objects. So what you can do, I'll tell you, simple thing. Don't try this one, very dangerous. I want to delete all the files along with the bucket. Right? I want to delete all the files and the bucket. So RB, remove bucket, S3 colon colon, KETH. Will this work?
remove bucket itself.
Yeah.
No, it won't allow.
It won't allow because there are a good number of files
Good
inside.
number of files. Yes.
Okay. So what you can do, just say an option called as force.
Okay.
Force removal. I think force or force removal, something is there, I'll tell you. Force. You will see what will happen. You will see now. It has deleted all the files. It is deleting the bucket also.
Okay.
Don't try this one. Dangerous.
It
There
won't
is no
even
way of recovery also.
recoverable. It won't be recoverable as well.
If you have a policy to keep a backup, then it can be.
Correct.
If you have a policy, some people keep a policy. Because some users will accidentally delete all the files, delete the file or whatever it is, and later on they'll say, sir, important file I had deleted, I didn't knew that, etc. like that. So some people will write a script of the policy. They create a background bucket also, and a backup copy will be there. If you delete in the primary one, still there will be a copy in the secondary one. Or versioning also. I spoke about versioning, right? If you delete, the second part will be there. Is this clear?
Yeah. I think backup
now-
would be better option instead of the versioning, because versioning might be having updated file.
May not be
Yeah,
updated. The previous updated one will be there.
Yes, the previous one is the, anyways we
Correct.
will lost
Correct.
that. I think backup is the best option.
Right. See now, are there any buckets? I have deleted everything. The buckets, you don't have any buckets or etc. Is this clear about the CLI? This is mainly meant for the users actually, for the users to make sure. See, once the users don't require, they go to the CLI, you give whatever the commands only S3 related, they do S3. Most of the people do for S3. Even developers also, if they want to keep their stuff, where will they keep? They keep it in bucket. So you can create an account for them, but that's okay. But daily logging into the console and all these things is a big stuff. And it is against the security also. Because they want only bucket. That's all. They do that. Right? Let me try for what we call. See, the other day we learned about IAM, right? So you create a user, give only a policy for S3, that's all. Access for S3, so that users will be configured, the key, secret key and all these things will be configured in their system, and they can access only S3. They can't do any for AWS EC2 or RDS, nothing like that. Now let me show you what we call as EC2. I'll just go to EC2. So imagine he is a server administrator or server, that's all. So here he has an instance running. He has his instance running. So IAM along with CLI, it will do a lot of good things for you. In Linux server, you see this one, this is your instance ID. Just copy your instance ID, this one, your instance ID. That is enough for those people, for the server administrator. Okay, this is my instance ID. So here you see this one, this is running instance. At the day end, he wants to basically shut down the server, or he wants to do some activity, just shut down, or he might stop the server, or he want to do something, or he want to terminate also if he doesn't want, related to EC2. So how he can do? So here you can see this particular one in the CLI, AWS, okay, is the first command, EC2, and say /?. This will tell you what are all the commands which are there in EC2. Oh, in EC2, this many number of commands are there. In CLI itself, you can see only in EC2. Anyway, so attach volume or anything, create, describe, everything will be there. So let me know what are all the instances which are currently running from the CLI. So what I do, describe instances. Just say that describe means it will list all the instances on your screen. Yeah, it has shown you. Describe instance, one of your instance ID, which is 895, which I have shown you just now. You see this one, 895. This has been listed. You can see instance ID. If you are using Linux system, you can even use grep also. That is easy. You see walk key, you get all the details, even IP also, all these things are there. All the things. The describe means detailing. The instance status is running. Still more are there. The instance parameters, all the things will be shown here. Suppose, so from here I have this public IP also, the private IP, all the things, MAC address, everything related to networking, related to all parameters, volumes, etc. is there. So now I got my instance ID. This is my instance ID. You can see this one. I want to stop this instance. I want to describe instances we learned. I want to stop the instances. So how do I do that? AWS stop -instances and the instance ID. That's all. See this one, I recommend all of you to do this exercise very well. The recordings are already there. Just say this particular one. So now the current status is running. You know that earlier we saw that the current status is running. I am stopping the instance now.
Sorry, EC2 is missing.
Sorry?
The service is missing.
Oh, service is missing, EC2. Stop instances and the instance ID. What will happen? Oh, that is wrong. I think I need to give this particular one, not directly. Even if you give wrong also, it will tell you instance IDS. You need to provide that. Instance IDS. Okay, just say that. Stop instances, instance IDS. It will stop now. Okay, it has returned something. This is my command which I have highlighted, which I have given. So the current status is stopping. The earlier status, the previous status is running. From running, it has come down to stopping. In this way, you can manage instances very easily. So now let me refresh and see. No matching. You can see here, no matching. Let me see in these instances. If the instance is stopped, the instance, you can still ask for describe instances. It will show you the instance status, etc. I want to start the instance. How do I start the instance? If the instance is stopped, how will you start? You can do this particular one as start instances. Start instances. This is all server administrators can easily do this one. They need not go into the dashboard, all the things. See, sometimes it so happens that they may give some other instance also. Here, since it is documented, even an operator also, if you give the script line, he will do it. So start the instance. Yeah, the earlier status is stopped, the current status has come to pending. You can see this one, stopped, pending. You can verify. Yeah, it is pending. After a few seconds, it will come to running. There are many number of things which are there. You can even create the instance also. You can create instance, AWS, EC2, create instance, and so with all the parameters, a very long one which is there. If you want, you can make a try of those things, but it's really not required for us. I have given the syntax also, you can see that. Somewhere it will be there in this CLI.txt will be there.
We need to follow all the configuration which we do through the console, right? That's what it was long. It will be long, very long, correct?
Absolutely. You see this one for creating the instance. This is the syntax. AWS, EC2, run instances, image ID. You have to see that which image ID. If it is for Linux, Linux image ID. Windows image ID. ID. Count equal to how many number 1. Instance type equal to T2 micro. Key name equal to the same key which you have. And hyphen. Your security group, you need to create the security group and assign to this one. And then the EC2 instance will be created. Stop instances, start instances we do. Terminate instance also we can do. This part, step 4. Is this clear? So now this is stopped. This is stopped. This instance is running now, running. I want to terminate this instance. How do I do that? Once terminated, it won't come back again.
Yeah, terminated. Just now.
Terminate. See all the things which are there, you can see here also. T for terminate, R, S, T. I think terminate or something else. It extract. Let me show you. Yeah, terminate instance is also there. Let me say, not stop, terminate. Terminate instances, instance IDs, same thing. Just press enter. Let us see. Yeah, it has gone for shutting down. It has gone for running one. It has gone for shutting down. You can see that. So what will happen here? Yeah, it has gone for shutdown. Like that, it's not only for what we call it EC2 or S3. You can manage RDS. You can manage any service. You can create volume, etc. Anything, whatever you have learned till now. Even you can create an IAM user also, AWS IAM, and then create user, something like that. You can create everything, whatever you are doing from console, you can easily go through this CLI. But for solutions architect, it's not mandate. For developers, they need to go through because they write the scripts, right? So they need to know a little bit more in detail about this EC2. But one good thing is always there. You have excellent feedback, excellent documentation. AWS, you can say CLI documentation. Beautiful documentation is there. See, command line documentation. Just go through. You ask for any command. User guide is there. Command reference is there. You can ask any command which is there. Command line reference. If I want to know about which command, there is a search also should be there. Yes, search. If I want S3, I can say search S3. CLI search. Or maybe home. Yeah, you can see all these things. CLI command reference. Good number of commands are there. EC2, if you want EC2, yeah, just go and select EC2. What type of command? Allocate IP address, the command syntax solution. Suppose if I say create instance, okay, create a snapshot or copy snapshot, this one, create a snapshot or create anything, a subnet or create a gateway, create so and so, create image. If I want to create an image for the instance, so you see this one, this is the script, create image. So he'll give you some samples also. JSON syntax is given. Examples, you see this one, this is how the sample syntax. AWS EC2 create image slash instance ID so and so, name is my server, description is so and so. So it will create an image. Output will be like this. Is this clear? For everything, my suggestion is that you try. Good documentation is there. Good documentation is there. So this is not only for this particular one. You can even go through, like if I say S3, where is that? This is EC2, right? Yeah. Go to S3. See this one. Whatever I taught today, CP, MV, RM are there here. MB. Sync is basically synchronizing between your off and on. I mean, from your local and your system. That's all. Still, you can try that. S3 CP, we did that. So all these things, more or less, which are there. Okay, try accordingly. It's not mandate, but if you do well, then it will be easy for all of you. The documentation is there. Good documentation is there. Just go through the documentation well, and also this particular one, which I have given some lab syntax also. Please go through this one. Someday or the other, we will also learn about SDKs. We learned one of the API that is for what is that? For your database, okay, RDS. We did that, okay, SDK, sorry, API, one of the API, Workbench. So SDK also we will learn, Eclipse, I'll show you. It's not mandate for us, but for developer it is mandate. They need to go through any one of the SDK, at least Visual Studio or Android Studio or Eclipse or whatever it is. So this will enable you similar way. How they can configure? Using this access key and secret access key. All the 2, 3, 4 which are there, they can link up to their Amazon account using their secret access key and access key. The console is your username and password. These are the 4 methods which are there. The second method which we have learned. Third method is not very important for us, but we did one of this Workbench. Third one, fourth one also we will learn some other day. Eclipse. I'll show you a demonstration of how you can access services using Eclipse also. So for the first, for the members who has missed, so the summary is the first step, you need to download the software, select your OS basically, like if it is Windows, then select Windows and download. 30 MB something will be there and install those things. And after that, you need to do this AWS configure from your command prompt. So once you do that, it will ask for access key and secret access key. If you are using a sandbox environment, use these details, show, it will show you. It will show you this particular one, secret access key and access key. You have to copy this one. But if you are using something else, I mean your local account, then go to your security credentials and download the access key and secret access key, which is there in the recording also. So once it is done, okay, what you need to do, you can start working on commands. You can say AWS/configure. This is done. Start working. Here I have demonstrated for S3, the S3 and EC2. So you can go through that. That is enough for us. That is enough for us. Really, if you ask me, that is enough for us. So, but if you still want to become expert, please do more. Please do more. So I just completed all these things. I can say end lab for my this thing. So please practice more and more and go through the documentation. See, for a solutions architect, the mandate is exploring is more essential. Exploration is more required. Doing the exercises will gain confidence. That is for sure. Reading the textbooks will prepare you well for the exam and interviews. If you do both, you will automatically gain more knowledge. And the more and more you get knowledge, that is called as solutioning. Any type of queries raised by the client, you can easily understand. And this is which is needed for a solutions architect. And your questions are very important for me. Ask questions, any type of questions. It will be very helpful for you. Right? Yeah, any questions from anyone? Please let me know now. I hope everyone has understood about today's class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please practice more and more. That will enhance more and more. So this is CLI, okay, which we have done. And then tomorrow, let me start with one of the important area, that is cloud formation. Very important, especially for automation industry. Okay, I tell you, Amazon really prestigiously tells everyone it is infrastructure as a code, and this is one of the big area what Amazon claims to say, that yes, this will reduce a lot of manpower. I mean, you can do a higher skills at a very lower level, like an entry level operator also can do a very high-end task, because the entire resources or the infrastructure is translated into a code, and that code can be generated. I mean, once you keep it within yourself, you can launch at any point of time, even for your disasters also, or any kind of activities also, and this will really help a lot for the client also, in terms of benefiting revenue, deployment, the ease of use, and also the technology need not be invented multiple times. Repeating, when you are repeating multiple times, exactly same to same, you will get it. Same to same. That is the biggest advantage of your cloud formation. I'll introduce that cloud formation tomorrow. Please be on time. Please listen. And this type of questions, normally many clients will ask, are you familiar with the formation? Okay. And it is also very important for solutions architect members. Okay. And this will be followed with other things like a beanstalk, lambda, many things will be there. So please attend this one, and also do all the exercises very well, I tell you. That will ease your understanding. Still, we have good time at your convenience, at your time, whenever you are practicing, because when we start when we complete our course, if you are not getting familiar, exam preparation will become very tough. So tomorrow, once after cloud formation, we may do one of your lab also. Casey. So Casey, knowledge check. We will do that. And also, I'm expecting others also. Please start doing this guided labs also. The things which you have done for Casey, for those guided labs, please do. Okay, please do that. I'm not saying about challenge guided labs. Okay, please do that. If you want assistance, let me know. It's already there. All the recordings of the guided lab and challenge labs are already there. But don't see in the first hand. Don't see in the first hand. Later on, you can see. If you are stuck somewhere and if you are unable to. But practicing is always essential for, solutions architect. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And that's all from me for today. If there are no questions, we will again get together tomorrow, for the class, and then we can continue with most important topics. That's all from me. Bye from me.
Thanks. Have a good